What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon. Some parts of the country, it's morning. Other parts, it's afternoon. You got different time zones. Last time we discussed the fifth day of creation, Book of Genesis. So we're going to wrap this up and discuss the last day. Okay. I had to grab my book so I know where I'm at. Animals. So the last video we discussed the fifth day. We also talked about racism in America. We addressed the fact that many racist white people felt as though they had to keep us black folks in line. They were doing God's work. But as I showed you, God created different species. He created different animals. He created different varieties of the same species. This is proven fact. This is scientific fact that cannot be disputed. There are fowls of the earth that fly in the sky. You have different types of birds. You have different types of whales. Now, from what we saw, he specifically mentions the whale, but we know there are other fish in the sea. Literally, there are other fish in the sea. There's big fish, small fish. There's even creatures in the sea that aren't even fish. So why is it that people can't use common sense? If he did all that first, if he created different types of cats, then why is it that he couldn't have decided to create different types of humans? So, that being said, the argument that white people are dominant over black people is debunked. That's garbage. See, scholars can debate all day long, but sometimes their education gets in the way. I'm not a Bible scholar. I'm just a common man. I know how to think. I know how to use common sense. But when you constantly being told what to think and how to think, it sometimes gets in the way of things. It clouds your mind from what's right in front of you. So in my adult life, I've had to find out the hard way that, yeah, a lot of things I thought was true aren't true. I've had to rethink a lot of things of what I was told. And I was told things by people that I respected, elders. And it's like, why? Why would you lie to me like that? But that's a story for another day. The Bible tells all. And people will look at the Bible a different way and come up with a different answer. But certain things are a fact. Certain things cannot be disputed. I don't care how you look at the Bible. The Bible talks about the fowl of the air, the birds. It talks about whales in the sea. And this is a proven fact. There are, to this day, birds that fly. There are, to this day, whales in the sea. So how is this wrong? How is this wrong? I don't have a college degree, but I can go outside almost any given day and see a bird flying. So is some scholarly person going to tell me, oh, that's not a bird? A pigeon is a bird. A falcon is a bird. An eagle is a bird. There's different types of birds, just like there's different types of human beings. It might have started off at one point, one human being. But as religious people like to say, his will be done. If he didn't want it to happen, it wouldn't have happened. If you mess up, there are consequences to your actions. So he planned for the good as well as the bad. If he didn't want it to happen, it wouldn't happen. Black people have always gone through the struggle. That's just part of our life, but it makes us stronger. And people can't stand it. People don't like it when black people rise up. So before I go on another rant, let's get through this last day of creation. So the evening and the morning were the fifth day. Time, God's time and our time is two separate times. For him, the evening and the morning are the fifth day. For us, the morning, the sunlight going into the darkness, the moonlight, that's to us is one day. Same earth, just different perspective. And God said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing, and beast of the earth after his kind. And it was so. I don't know what else to tell you. Let the earth bring forth the living creature. What creature? The cattle. Creeping things. You know, the little bugs and insects. Beast of the earth. The ox, the bull, the horse. But at the same time, don't just let that be it. Let them have the power to reproduce. Let them have the power to multiply themselves. One horse gets with one horse gets with another horse, and they make a third horse. God has put that seed inside of each female of each species. Facts. Am I lying? Horses have babies. Cattle have babies. Whales have babies. Dolphins have babies. Humans have babies. Birds have babies. Regardless of what word you use to describe them, each species has the ability to reproduce itself. This has been put forth since the beginning. multiple species of birds, multiple species of fish, multiple species. Well, I won't say multiple species, but multiple variety of humans all throughout history. Scientists are always finding different types of bones for different types of humans. But your pigment, the color of your skin, is determined by the area on Earth that you live in. But you're still human. You're still a human being. God didn't say anything else. So, that being said, and God made the beast of the earth after his kind, and the cattle after their kind, and pause. Didn't I just say this? Didn't I just say this before I even read this? Started this verse 25. And God made the beast of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And God said, and God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the Let me adjust my camera. I want to make sure that everybody who can see this. The Bible, the Christian Bible, has been used to terrorize blacks for centuries, for years. Laws have been made based on the Bible in order to degrade black people, because white people think, because Caucasian people from the Caucasus Mountains think they are dominant over black people. Verse 26 of the Holy Bible, book of Genesis. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. Where in what law does it say that God said for men to fight over the right to have dominion over each other? Where does it say that God said, let us make white men and black men, and the white men shall have dominion over the black men? Where does it say? It doesn't. It doesn't. You want to pull up the Dead Sea Scrolls? Go ahead. I'll wait. I got a couple of good years in me. I'll wait. Like I said, common sense. This is common sense. They didn't want black people to learn how to read and write because then we would see the truth. We know the truth. And God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. Well, if God wanted us to fly, he would have gave us wings. Stop it. I heard that so many times before and I believed it. But it tells you right here, God said that we would have dominion over the birds in the sky. We can't fly. We don't have wings. So how are we going to have dominion over birds in the sky? That means we have to create a way to get the birds. And if the birds are going to fly up into the sky, you either have to create a weapon to shoot them down, or you got to create a vessel to go up and chase them. It didn't say nothing about space, outer space. Talking about inner space, talking about the earth. Human beings, black men, white men, don't matter what color your skin is. Human beings have dominion over the earth, over the fish, the birds, the cattle, but not each other. No white man has dominion over black people. Never has. It's in the book. The same book that they want to use in a court of law, which is a bunch of bull crap. The same book that they want to use in a court of law. Do you swear to tell the truth and whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? It's that same book. It's probably the same book that they use when they swear in the presidents. Then two, maybe not, because some presidents have been known to do some shady stuff. But anyway, that's a different discussion. It's no. To be able to create, the power to create, up until God decided to release part of his power to earth, to the creatures of earth. We're talking about his likeness, doing things the way he would do it, doing things with a godlike power. That's what we're talking about. So God created man in his own image. Image. God created man in his own image. How many times have people said, man, you the spitting image of your daddy. You the spitting image of your mama. Oh, you look just like him. You look like. But that don't mean you gonna act like that person. So when they say, when you hear the term image or likeness, that's exactly what that means. You have characteristics of someone else. That doesn't mean you are that person. You remind someone of someone else because of your character, your actions, the way you look, or the way you speak, the way you eat, the way you do something. God was able to make creation. Human beings are able to create life because God gave us that power to create life from our own life. instead of ripping out of bones, we have other means of reproducing. The same way we reproduce is the same way the bears and the lions and the tigers and a lot of other species reproduce. There's a seed, there's sperm, the two come together and magic happens. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the earth, over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he them. Male and female created he them.